the EFF experiencing a leadership crisis? What is the cause of all the divisions within the party? Who is the real founder of the EFF? And will Gogoro and his co-fighters succeed in removing Malema? What time is it? It's question time. Hello and welcome to the show. While all eyes will be glued to television sets to see what the economic freedom fighters will do when President Jacob Zuma delivers his State of the Nation address in Parliament, the EFF is having its own challenges from within. And while EFF President Julius Malema may be leading the Bring Back the Money campaign against President Zuma, there are members of the EFF who are also singing the same song against Malema himself. Among other things, this group has accused Malema of dictatorship and say they have started the process to remove him as leader of the EFF. So, will Rufuno Gogoro and his comrades in arms against Malema manage to get Malema out of the EFF? On the other hand, Malema has refused to entertain their cries, saying they lost elections and has dared them to go ahead and do what they wish. My guests are the anti-Malema group within the EFF, Rufuno Gogoro, Romeo Machila, and Reggie Ngobo, who joins us from our studios in Durban. Welcome to Question Time, gentlemen. Welcome, Mapoloba, also. Rufuno, let me start with you. What is the problem within the EFF today?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mpo. The problem is that our leader, Julius Malema, has deviated from the founding principle of the organization. He has reduced our organization into his own spaza shop. He has given himself much power to dictate over us who should occupy which position and so forth, and also the finances of the organization.
Okay. And which are those principles that you are mainly worried about?
You know, when you are a revolutionary, you must be disciplined at all times. You must have compassion and love for the people. You put their interest at first, not your own personal interest. You respect them, you respect yourself. And in South Africa, we've got the Constitution, and as EFF, we made a mistake by adhering to the Constitution of this country, because as revolutionaries, we were supposed to have rebelled against the Constitution. But once we acknowledge it, it means everything that is within the Constitution, we must follow them.
Okay, we'll get to some of these technicalities in a while. But Romeo, who are you guys? Are you EFF? Are you new EFF? Are you disgruntled members of the EFF? Or are you the alternative?
Thank you very much for that question. We are EFF members in good standing. We are defenders of a large number of EFF community in South Africa and the constitution of EFF. That's what we are. We are, like Lufuno said, you know, EFF holds a very big and sound policy that must be directed to the people, not to Ngandla, not to an individual. We are against what Julius is doing, simply because the call of EFF in this country, the mandate that we have given to EFF to go to Parliament, was not to go there and release hit songs like they've released a hit song now that is called Pay Back the Money. We send them there not to become also debt collectors, but to advocate a policy on nationalization, expropriation of land, free and basic education, you know, also to advocate our last cardinal point, which is the free, corrupt society. Now, in that process, while we are advocating for that, Julius himself, I'm from the Northwest, where I always say, where we report to in prison, where EFF members report in prison, where we have a provincial secretary who's still in prison and he's earning money and he's a secretary of the province. Now, where does the last seven, cardinal point feature in that? Now,
Okay.
now, if we speak of a free, corrupt country, why is Julius not advocating that?
Okay, now, who are you in the Northwest within the EFF?
Romeo Machila was a member of the leader of the region of Kenneth Kaunda.
Yes.
When we started EFF.
Yes.
I was also co-opted in the provincial central command team by Papiki Babuila, who is in prison now. And, we did part ways simply because we raised our issues with them.
Okay.
In the Northwest.
Okay.
Yes.
And I must put it on record that we had indeed extended an invitation to the EFF, which they declined. Mapoloba, let me bring you in. In KZN, what is your gripe with Julius? Because it would appear that everything here is centered around him.
Thanks, Putimpo, and greetings to my commissars there and also to the viewers. Ours is clear, is that the EFF under the leadership of Julius Malema has deviated from the points, or should I say the principles that we were founded on. We are seeing now being focused more on Nkandla. We are focused on an individual in parliament instead of sticking to what we created, or should I say we established EFF for. So to make things more clearer here, Romeo has mentioned the issue of our seventh cardinal point, that we are seemingly deviating from it. Under the current leadership of Julius Malema. And also remember, when we said we will contest through the ballot, we also took a resolution that will abide, or should I say will subscribe to Sangara Oath, whereby some of the perks in parliament won't be received by us because we are pro-poor, the vanguard of the poor, and the leftist organization.
Okay.
But now we are seeing people escalating into a form of the capitalist and living kind of a lavish lifestyle at the expense of the poor.
All
We
right.
were the one who were on the ground lobbying for the EFF, trying to portray our leaders as good people who will take the country to the next level. And unfortunately, now we are seeing quite the opposite.
All right,
We are
Mapoloba.
seeing cronyism.
Mapoloba, let me just get something right here. I asked Romeo, and I also want to ask you, who are you in the EFF in KZN?
I am the founder of the EFF in KZN. I was the first convener of the EFF in KZN. And due to cronyism that I've mentioned before, I was sacked, or should I say I was removed. But I'm currently the branch chairperson of Ward 1, where I'm staying, and an activist of the EFF throughout the province.
So
And
are
now
you
we are
not
leading
just a
this
bunch
cause.
of bitter losers?
It cannot be true. We are not so. Because in the KZN's case, the reshuffling that was made, it happened on the 15th of November 2013. So if it's about being bitter, we should have reacted by then. We participated in gunning for the votes for the EFF, lobbying and doing all the work of the EFF, going to the national and provincial elections. We assisted in our clusters where we were deployed. After the elections also, we maintained discipline as the members of the EFF. We tried to use all the channels that are there in the Constitution and the founding manifesto of the EFF. But unfortunately, our leadership became so big that they can even hear any word from us.
All right, hold the thought there. I want us to take a break. When we return, let's address this issue Who are the founders of the EFF? This is question time. Please don't go away.
We bring awareness to our passengers about what Ebola is about, importantly, how it is transmitted, and the key thing about it is that it is not airborne.
Across the board, women are at risk of getting breast cancer, and the risk factors are in fact a family history, a strong family history of breast or ovarian cancer.
The plastic surgeon, the first thing he would check is your weight and would ensure that your body mass index is within the normal range. And if not, they probably would actually, suggest that you lose weight before you even consider having these procedures.
Catch Dr. Silo Mutaung on Health Talk every Saturday from 9 to 10 on SABC News.
Zoom into Africa. This is Eritrea. The president is Mr. Isaias Afewerki. Eritrea got independent from Ethiopia on 24th May in 1993. The population is over 5 million people. One of the major languages spoken is Arabic. Monetary unit is the Nakfa.
This is question time. Welcome back. My guest today, Rufuno Gogoro, Romeo Machila, and joining us from Durban Studios, Reggie Ngobo. These are all EFF fighters, and this time fighting within the organization itself. Now, Rufuno, you have maintained that you are a founder of the EFF. Does that give you the right to say whatever you want?
I never said anything which I want. I raised issues which are happening within the organization. Actually, to give the background of the EFF, we remember we were known as economic freedom fighters when we were still the members of the ANC Youth League. Just immediately after the Galaga Estate resolution on the policy direction which we were going to be influencing or advocating within the ANC.
Yes.
So since then we saw that the leadership by then, which was also led by Julius Malema, was being purged for raising the issue of nationalizations. You know, when you talk of nationalization, now you are actually stepping in some people's toes, like the Rupert families, all those who control our resources. So we said we need to do introspection if the ANC is actually going to take this country forward, and we found out that no, they're not. Then we formed an organization called ACGG Defense Force, ADF. Then we went all to all the provinces, mobilizing and also consulting with them on what should be done. And then there was a need for a new political party to be formed because there was a vacuum of a political party that can represent honestly the poor of the poorest. And then we went to Julius to say, we are forming a political party. We want you to lead. And in the ANC, you are not coming back. By then, Julius was so convinced that in Mangaung, his case was going to be resolved. Just immediately after Mangaung, when he could see that he has failed, that is when he said, guys, I'm going to join you. But still then, he was still so skeptical to align with us. But already we had a membership. We're saying we are the economic freedom fighters. We are an organization and we are going to move forward as a political movement.
Yeah, but if you're saying that you had an organization called ACGG Defense Force, was it Defense Force?
Yes.
All right. If you have an organization called ACGG Defense Force, and there were also the economic freedom fighters within the ANC Youth League, I would imagine that the economic freedom fighters within the Youth League that was just a description of the character of members that the Youth League had.
That's correct.
Right? And the Economic Freedom Fighters as an organization, as an independent organization, was only founded in 2013.
That is incorrect. We, you know, because of the technicalities to register and all those things, yes, that is why people, they know that it was founded on the 13th of October 2013.
Were you at the Protea Hotel meeting in Johannesburg?
I was one of the people who were organizing that meeting at Protea Hotel.
But the meeting is supposed to have been organized by Julius and Floyd.
Evan, we remember, actually what happened is that Julius said, you know what, let's launch Aschigi Defense Force. Our problem with Aschigi Defense Force was that it was ANC Youth League based. And we said we've got a membership, we've got people who are coming from the Socialist Party of Tanzania, people who were coming from PAC, ANC and other social movement. And we said we are having a lot of people. We cannot only be those who are coming from the ANC Youth League. We need to represent the vast majority of our people.
So where were you when the letter was written by Floyd and Julius? So where to from now? Which raised 3 points. Do we remain in the ANC? Do we form an NGO? Or do we form a political party?
I was part of those. And fortunately, Maleka Azania was also part. I've been involved mostly in the strategic meeting on deciding what is going to happen in the future.
All right.
And then that letter was actually, Floyd wrote that letter immediately after the 11th of June.
Yeah.
And then, but by then, on the 11th of June, as Aschigi Defense Force, we stood up and said, because there were people who were afraid of the ANC, saying, no, let us not go, yes, we are joining this organization, but let us not go public. And I stood in that meeting. Kenny Kunene was there. Floyd was sitting just next to me. I said, if you are afraid, then you will find us forging ahead. Julius was facing me there, and he was so scared. He didn't know what is going to happen. That is when we said, we are going to announce it on Radio 702.
Okay. Romeo, what are you going to do with Julius, realizing that you've got a problem with him?
Look, like I said, you know, this is a movement that is a socialist movement, a movement of the people. The way he's maintaining his lifestyle right now is contrary, you know, against.
Talk to us about that. What's wrong with this lifestyle?
Against you know, what we want to pursue as an organization. Look, we spoke on our manifesto. We addressed an issue of making sure that we'll take care of our farm workers and securities and all that. But in the contrary, what happened, Julius beat a farm worker, Julius beat a security guard, instead of making sure that we defend them. He's causing, you know, a disrepute for our organization. People are asking us on the ground, while he's happy enjoying millions that he steals from the account of the EFF.
Are you sure?
So we are definitely sure. As times goes on, we will come
Are you
here
saying
one day
that Julius Malema stole millions out of the EFF account?
Stealing is crime.
Talk to us about this. What are you saying? Are you saying Julius is a thief?
He is. I mean, how could the 4 million go missing from the account of an organization that is perceived as an alternative for our people, and it is being seen as the most strongest and fast-growing organization?
But he's not the Treasurer General.
He is not, but the money, actually the notification of the banking details comes to his, account. He is working with Leanne Matthias, who is from Australia.
Whom our sources say you have actually, you know, told her very unsavory words.
Julius went on and lied. Actually, what happened is that we disagreed on a certain issue, because I was the coordinator of Gauteng province. She didn't understand politics. She didn't understand anything. And she was given a very strategic position to deal with fundraising and so on.
Right.
And then we were so worried. And then Julius, when we raise issues, he says to me and a guy called Maxwell Mutlaki, Luna, I'm going to go out and say, Lona, you are power mongers, you called Leanne with nasty words and so on. Fortunately, when I confronted Leanne, she said, no, you have never disrespected me, only that we differ.
Okay.
And I appreciate that kind of engagement.
All right. Well, let's get to this theft thing.
Yeah.
I'm very much interested in the money. Where is the money going?
The GTI.
Yeah, but the GTI doesn't cost 4 million rand.
It cost 170,000.
Yeah, then what happened to 3.6?
Maintaining the life of Julius is very expensive. Look, he had to maintain the lifestyle that he had after losing everything that he had. He had to maintain that. He's very expensive.
And also going to sushi parties, I think that also cost.
Okay, hold the thought there. When we return, I'm going to bring in Mapoloba from our Durban studios. This question time, please don't go away.
Zoom into Africa. This is Eritrea. The president is Mr. Isaias Afewerki. Eritrea got independent from Ethiopia on 24th May in 1993. The population is over 5 million people. One of the major languages spoken is Arabic. Monetary unit is the Nakfa.
Welcome back. You're still watching Question Time. Today we're talking to leaders or members of the alternative EFF within the EFF. Rufuno Gogoro, Romeo Machila, and from our Durban studios, Reggie Ngobo. Mapoloba, let me bring you in here. Your colleagues here are painting a very bad picture of the president of the EFF.
Yes, and that the thing is here, they are not painting a bad picture about Julius Malema. Actually, Malema is busy painting a bad picture about himself. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Mapoloba.
Okay, thanks. What I was trying to say here is that the members or the commanders who are there in studio with you, Commissar Lufuno Kokoro and the Commissar Romeo, are not painting a bad picture about Julius Malema. Julius Malema is the one who's busy painting a bad picture about himself. He talks right and walks left. As they've correctly said, that maintaining his lifestyle is so expensive, and unfortunately, the only purse that is close to him is the EFF purse. So we cannot tolerate that, because some of us joined the EFF because we believed that the organizations that we were part of mismanaged funds, abused funds, and also they had an element of dictatorship. Okay. So to our surprise, that the person that we entrusted with power to lead us is also doing the same. So we cannot sit back and not challenge him.
Okay.
In as much as he... Hello.
Mapoloba, now why did you then go out to the Free State and elect a dictator and a corrupt president?
As you may know, Put, that the Free State Elective Assembly had its own hiccups, and somehow we are still exploring, or should I say analyzing, whether we should nullify it, because there were lots of unbecoming procedures that occurred there.
Okay.
Personally, I wasn't the delegate. I was removed from being a delegate on the 11th hour. But fortunately, my ward was represented there.
Okay.
The reports that I got from those who went there is that there were lots of discrepancies that occurred that we believe were facilitated by Julius Malema himself.
Okay. Now, Rufuno, you have been saying you are going to take the EFF to court. Is this still on the pipeline?
We're starting today by sending a letter to the Speaker of the Assembly to say, as members of the EFF, who gave the mandate or who mandated our MPs to go to Parliament to represent us, we feel that they are not doing what we sent them for. So therefore, they must not be allowed in the zone because they are not going to be representing us. That threats that they said they're going to do to disrupt the state of the nation, that is not who we are. That is not the character of the EFF. How are we going to deal with Jacob Zuma if we don't know what he has to say? Secondly, we met with our lawyers yesterday. We did a lot of things, and we agreed that we've got a strong case.
Okay.
We are going to be launching the court application on Wednesday next week.
Okay.
In the Southwest Gauteng High Court.
All right. Now, who's funding you, Romy?
Who's funding us? We made the EFF what it is today, you know, from our own pockets.
So you are rich people?
We are not rich people.
How are you paying for SCs to go to the High Court?
We have, amongst the team, we have people that are sacrificing, you know, that are running businesses, that are you know, working also in government. So, and that are also financially not reckless, like you know, they are not maintaining this lavish lifestyle. They have a vision and a mandate to take care of.
Okay.
So that's where our money comes from.
Rufuno, you have a history of starting court proceedings and then renege on that.
Wow, I didn't know. What a compliment. What happened is that we informed the EFF that if they cannot actually explain or clarify my status as a member of the EFF, after Julius went to the Pretoria or Tshwane People's Assembly, and out of excitement, I don't know, maybe he had lost something in his mind. He just said, Rufuno Kokor is not a member of EFF, he has been expelled.
Okay. So, unfortunately, we've run out of time. So are you saying that you don't support the Pay Back the Money campaign in Parliament tomorrow to disrupt President Jacob Zuma?
No. What we support is that President Zuma must pay back our money. That is our money. Okay. But actually prioritizing that above everything that we have mandated our leadership, that is actually some kind of hypocrisy. If we are to deal with it, Zuma is not a big man that we have to spend all our resources dealing with him. We must just go to him. If cannot pay our money back, we go to an occupying Nkandla. But let's allow the state of the nation to continue so that we can be able to deal with him.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. All the best. That was Question Time for today. A big thank you to our guests and to you for watching the show. We welcome your feedback. Our email address, questiontime@sabc.co.za. Our Twitter handle @questiontime24. Let's continue this discussion. You can follow me on Twitter @MpoSavior. Have yourself a wonderful time. Goodbye.